Chapter 194. No one has ever encouraged me to use the power I have possessed until now. Could it have been because he was incapable of utilizing his strength due to his body? Yudhir recalled a tale of a vessel he'd once heard, feeling a twinge of regret as he wondered if he'd been reckless in bringing up such a reckless topic. I didn't wish for you to harm yourself to do this. If I have overstepped my bounds, I apologize. No, actually, it feels quite good. I was curious about what it feels like to live up to someone's expectations. It'd been a long while, muttering under his breath. Kishir's elongated fingers traced the countless sword marks of nameless knights engraved on the Emperor's sword mark. Unlike the sword marks of the famous sword masters that were marked with nameplates, there were even more marks left by those unnamed, simply regarded as scratches and left as such. Despite knowing this, he wondered why they left their marks on the blade. Yes, there were times in my youth when I was quite upset. After all, how easily could I accept that I, a human being with strength, must always step back and hide it? The life of not being expected of anything means that I should not expect anything beyond survival from myself. It took a considerable amount of time to accept that. A life with no expectations. It made him wonder if this wasn't just about his physical condition, but perhaps this statement also pierced through the trajectory of the life Kishir Lahore had to live as the Duke of Paleta. The instinct to use his strength and the desire to do so were suppressed, trampled, and continually pushed down as he lived. The beast's blood red eyes, now accustomed to intense restraint and patience, looked numbly at the faintly withered sword marks. Even now, when I finally break free from it, when I see you, I become aware that I haven't changed, and neither has my surroundings. His voice, which had been whispering softly, fell silent, and his gaze shifted to Yudhir's face. That's why I need you, Yudhir Ale. At that moment, his heart pounded loudly. I would like you to teach me more. Things I couldn't have and what I need. You probably know. He was just a sinner who committed foolish acts, died, and returned. He was no great enough to receive the intense emotions nested in his gaze. Yudhir swallowed the surging guilt and bowed his head. I'm not sure. I'm already your assistant. If you give me orders, that's all. But what more are you saying? Orders are not enough. Kishir quietly responded, reaching out his hand, his fingertips gently brushing over the pale cheek, lightly lifting the chin, forcing their eyes to meet. Something I still don't know. Something still unknown to him. His downward gaze said so. His gaze, which he could not escape from, inexplicably deepened. Suddenly, a captivating red light emerged over his normally hidden brown eyes. The touched skin strangely grew hotter and hotter. As he breathed shallowly, shivering as if drawn to the heat, suddenly a force clenching his chin made it a bit painful. Ah! He snapped back to consciousness in surprise from the pain. His hand had been fallen again. Just now, what was that? What on earth was that strange feeling, as if he was being drawn towards something? All right, I'll show you what you wanted. Kishir, who had turned his body towards Emperor's sword mark, quietly opened his mouth. It's a rule to meet expectations when they are given. Let's give it a try. Huh? The sword mark, I mean. Really? Yudhir, startled by the belated response, quickly forgot about the strange sensation he had just felt. But not right now. There is no wooden sword hardly to leave a sword mark, Kishir murmured, showing off his empty belt. I was planning to announce it after wrapping up Apetol family's trial anyway. I'll definitely show you then. Thinking of divine sword ore which had been stored in Kishir's office for a long time, Yudhir felt his blood boil with anticipation. As for the divine sword, it's time to reveal who its master is. The time has come. Are you sure? Being the master of the divine sword was never easy. Despite his lack of interest in being the master of the divine sword in his previous life, he could feel how many were targeting him because of it. Yet, this event was sure to be the most solid method for Kishir, who had been neglected by many until now, to gain immediate recognition. If the trial ends well, as we wish, then Duke Diorca and Prince Christian will officially step forward, and we won't be able to face them the way we have so far. This has been planned in advance. To face an enemy who would not be off guard, such preparation was necessary. It appeared that revealing his ownership of the divine sword had been displayed as a card to use for that purpose. I will help you no matter what. As Yudhir nodded, a gentle smile crept onto his face again, as if he had never been serious. Shall we finish our walk for now? We haven't even done half of it. Are you really planning to walk around this long wall? Of course. Are you going to miss the opportunity to grab some luck after coming this far? You are the one who said it was a superstition. But his objection was clearly ignored. Only after walking around the wall alongside the seemingly joyous Kishir could Yudhir finish his exercise, masquerading as rest, and return to the office. Did you enjoy today's rest? Next time, I will rest by myself. You don't have to worry too much. Oh dear, if you didn't enjoy it, I'll have to try harder next time. What did he mean by trying harder? Yudhir didn't even dare to ask. Seeing Kishir bursting into laughter, Yudhir felt his mood plummet further. Please go in. All right, sleep well. See you tomorrow. Kishir ruffled Yudhir's fringe lightly and disappeared up the stairs to his office. Is this what he meant by not letting my guard down? It seemed clear that he'd taken a liking to this prank since the last time. Yudhir stood quietly for a moment, tidying his tousled hair, then let out a sigh. It had been a strange day. If he had told the Yudhir Ale of his previous life that he himself had dinner in a shabby pub with Kishir, walked around, and heard all sorts of things, he wouldn't have believed it. When I first came here, I hadn't expected to become so close with Kishir Lahore. That was definitely the case at the start. But how did it happen that their relationship changed so much? Yudhir found himself somewhat foolish for not getting angry, even as Kishir openly teased him like a child. But what exactly was the gaze back then? I really can't figure it out. What was that peculiar sensation he felt as the gaze they shared in front of the stone wall engraved with the Emperor's sword mark began to darken? It vanished so quickly that it was hard to guess if he had genuinely felt it. Yet the warm thrill he experienced then was still faintly present in his mind. Could it have been the attraction between second-gender awakeners that had come up in Beltrail's research? Yudhir rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Of course, he couldn't feel the same sensation now. The next day, as soon as daylight broke, unexpected visitors came looking for the cavalry. I have heard there are members of the cavalry here. May I see someone named Yudhir by any chance? Seeing the soldiers in the imperial uniforms who came shouting, the startled cavalry went to find Yudhir and informed him of the visitors. As Yudhishthira stepped out of the cavalry quarters, his eyes widened slightly upon seeing Sun Tzu and Ammon, the imperial soldiers he had met several months ago during Redstone recovery mission. Sun Tzu, Yudhir, long time no see. Sun Tzu, who had the power of vision, greeted him with a wave. His sad smile was just as he remembered. And Mr. Ammon, you're here too. Just call me Ammon. What's with the Mr. Gives me goosebumps. Anyway, it's good to see you looking well. Ammon greeted him with a grimace. Yudhir led him to his room. There were too many prying eyes outside and in the lounge. It would have been hard to escape the curious stares that were already gathering. I should offer you something to drink, but I am afraid I have nothing. My apologies. Don't worry about it. We are the ones who dropped in unexpectedly after all. Sun Tzu chuckled and shook his head. But to come here so suddenly, was there something? We were also personally dispatched to maintain law and order during the festival period. Before heading back, we wanted to see you again, so we searched and searched. Yudhir was quite surprised at Sun Tzu's words. He hadn't expected them to be part of the imperial forces that had been in the capital throughout the festival. He hadn't even imagined it, as he had not encountered them once. I had no idea. If I knew you were here, I would have paid you a visit. Weren't we all busy? Ammon and I were assigned to different places. I was at the 5th wall and Ammon was at the 6th wall. We were dispatched to prevent potential monument distraction, so we hardly ran into anyone else. I see. Hearing Yudhir's response, Sun Tzu suddenly grinned and lowered his voice. But this is a big deal. Do you understand? The fact that we, who were provisional soldiers, were chosen as temporary peacemakers in the capital. It's something that never happened before.